I think obviously we give them the momentum in that third quarter through despite ill discipline. So a couple of penalties gave them field position, and they had a lot of possession in that area, and they got a try through an error, which happens, especially when the ball's slippery. But it certainly wasn't the plan. We felt we've done some good things in the first half, and we added pace in the game. We found space and we scored those tries, but still felt we could have been better. Which is a shame that didn't happen. Obviously, the third quarter when the game changed, and we didn't finish early enough. Obviously, Mark had a chance with 10 minutes to go with a couple of line-out drives there. Got close to the line, we got penalties, but we left it too late.
That's simply a question of too many inexperienced players didn't really understand the pressure when it came on.
It's difficult to say. I think we weren't that disciplined in the first half, and it cost us more in the second half than it did in the first half. I think the final 15-20 minutes were much better, but maybe being too eager at times, getting offside and not releasing around the tackle area. Those are soft penalties to give away, and when it's 3 points or it's a line of back in your 22, it's a big change in momentum.
Can you predict the problems by next week?
Yeah, that is certainly what we'll be working to do. We've shown, even though that was a team put together with 7 starters, we showed some really good play at times today. We've got obviously a week to improve, a week to select a team that we believe can go to Argentina and win. The difficult thing is for these players is some will get that chance next week, some will live with that disappointment like we are feeling just now. But there'll obviously be a number of players with that opportunity to do it right next week.
What did you find out about particularly the younger players tonight?
It's hard, just so close to the game to make an assessment. I think in my mind that's positive to begin with in terms of the likes of George Horn did, who scored a try in his debut. I thought he was accurate with his pace and play. There was a few players on the first starts as well. I think as a team we didn't play to our potential. We know that, and I take it on my shoulders that a selection that has a lot of young players, has a lot of guys winning the first caps, doesn't have that much cohesion in terms of that team we haven't played before. There are risks. Not everyone's going to play their best in the first start, and we didn't achieve what we wanted to achieve tonight.
In hindsight, do you think you were too brave in picking the team that you picked?
Well, we wanted to learn about players in this tour. Now, we certainly wanted to give players opportunities to play. Maybe we could have had more of the bench and gone with more experienced players, but sometimes in games you don't get those guys off the bench that early, or injuries happen elsewhere. So we'll know more about the players and how they handle adversity away from home against a team that fired up, especially in the second half. It's not all good news, obviously, but at least we came out of here knowing that. We just need to be much better and win every time, or do better to win when we do Scotland.
Stuart, what was the captain to again on that?
Everybody's the exact same. It's fairly disappointing to come out of defeat. We worked incredibly hard during the week to get ourselves in good places, and unfortunately we just come up short. But as Gregor's touched on, a lot of mistakes by us that allowed the Americans to get into the game, and for us it's really frustrating because the things we talked about at half time, we've done the complete opposite coming out in the second half. And it's one thing making a mistake, but it's another thing making 2 mistakes, and the kind of snowball effect comes after that. And unfortunately, I think the majority of their points came from our errors, and it's all about the momentum shifts and taking opportunities, and the credit to Americans.
Gregor, you were passionate, American passion. You're asked to see that, you can see it afterwards, you can see it during what it meant. Did you match their intensity?
Not all the time. I think in the first half when we were defending close to the line, we were disappointed with that. The players were and the coaches were. We didn't put enough effort into that. times in the second half we did put the effort in, just the errors or the discipline let us down. I thought AJ McGinty had an outstanding game, best player in the field. And we were aware of his threat, but we didn't defend him nearly as well as we could have. Like some of the collisions we didn't win. We could have got through a number of tackles. So those are the areas that are disappointing. The key players stood out for them and gave them that confidence that they could get back in the game, and they got back in the game quite quickly in that second half.
Is when guys are missing tackles in this game on the hooker and a few others, is that about them not working hard enough, or is that bad technique, or what exactly was it?
I don't think you can generalise. I think sometimes we put some really good hits in, but we didn't complete the tackle. I think that was most of the time. On the 10, we were a bit over eager and tracked on his outside, and he saw gaps and went for them. He assessed where the space was, even though sometimes that was in the zone 22, he was still breaking from there. No, I don't like that. I think the effort was there, and we saw the effort in the second half. It's just you've got to have accuracy with effort, and you've got to have discipline with effort.
Where does this leave you now? I mean, it's another defeat on the road. After the positivity of last week, it's a bit of a downer now.
No, it's a huge downer, and if it was the last game on tour, we'd be even more disappointed. But we've got one more game, and we've got a tougher opponent that's lost 2 games, so they'll be fired up. And we've got to be much better next week, but we can right a lot of wrongs by a winning performance next week.
Have you had to sort of rethink your plans for who you're going to take to Argentina next week?
I've not really got my head around that. Obviously, we were waiting on tonight to assess if players will get through the game unscathed, and also see how combinations went. We always knew those first 2 games we were going to mix up the squad. We tried to have as much experience beside the young players. Tried to have Glasgow players together this week and Edinburgh players last week, but it was challenging for them with such a young and experienced squad. And times tonight, especially in that first half, they looked really good. But Test match rugby is tough. It's a tough learning experience when you lose. But it happens, and we've got to make sure that next week we're a much better team.
Stuart, can you speak to the USA defensive effort?
Say again, sorry.
Can you speak to the USA defensive effort? How they perhaps caused you some problems at times?
Yeah, it did indeed. I think they showed us a solid line, and we found it tough to get through it. And as Gregor's kind of touched on, at times that we maybe didn't work hard enough to get into our shape, and probably went 4 or 5 phases too many without kicking. So it's these little things that we need to add into our game and make sure that we're applying as much pressure on top position as we possibly can, and kind of saving our energy and using it in the right areas in the field.
Gregor, this tour you brought on a lot of young players, and you had a lot of success in the winter, and you're building towards the World Cup in 2019. How do you look at a tour holistically for development like this when you get home?
Well, we look at how the players got on tour in terms of their improvement, what they were doing in training. We'll obviously look at the games, and we've now had almost everyone playing in the first 2 games. We obviously strive to get wins in both those games, but individually we'll know much more about the players and whether they can get back into the squad in November, and whether there's realistic options for us in Japan.
Okay, thanks everyone. Stuart, you good to go. Just for Scottish Media with Monday follow-up.
I just think the character that was shown by this group of players was absolutely immense. I know you're probably not going to really believe that this is the truth, but the winning or losing today wasn't our priority. Wanting to see how far we can progress when we start playing against world-class opposition was the priority, and I must just say, this man next to me over here, I mean, 23-13 down at half time, 3 pretty, soft tries, obviously including the penalty try, and teams could have capitulated. It was just, just hung in there with the fight. I say as well, if you kick the conversion at the end, I wouldn't feel any different to what I do now. It's just good to know that we've got such a wonderful group of players who can go.
Still a historic moment. That's the first time you beat Scotland and the first time you beat the team for a nation. It must mean more than.
Obviously, it's unbelievably satisfying. But I mean, there's a process we've got to go through at the moment now. I mean, there's no magic wand, So, it was obviously very pleasing. I mean, if we could do that and get the victory, obviously that's why we play the game. We play the game to win. But just really proud of the guys. And I thought when we did what we said we were going to do, we were effective. And when we didn't, we were ineffective.
Gary, in the second half, you guys drove up their tackle count pretty high with Samu, Joe, and Paul. What did you see going into this game, and what did you see during the first half that you were able to affect that?
The game has and always will be about the game line. It will be about that. So when you've got 3 guys like that and explosive back 3 as well, you want to get them on the end of the ball. And you want them to carry. And hopefully, if they do their job and they can dent the defence or get over or onto the gain line and the ball can be reasonably quick, you give yourself a better platform. If that doesn't happen, you don't lose. You don't win rugby games. So, I mean, the analogy I used for the guys before is the barbarians. They get together. They're not coached. They probably have a little bit of fun during the course of the week, but they can still go out and play good rugby because they understand that the basics of the game is you still have to own the head onto the game line. So, it's just tinkering and getting the guys who carry well and can ask questions of the defence to get their hands on the ball, and the guys did that very effectively tonight.
Blaine, that try at the end of the first half, guys, how important was that for you? Did that give you an idea that you could actually do something?
I think so. I think going back to Gary's point, it was probably a culmination of us doing what we wanted to do, which was putting the team under pressure, maintaining possession in the right areas of the field, and then we were able to get over through kind of our big powerful ball carriers, which we feel is something that we have in spades across the team. So, I think that definitely got us back in. Hopefully we can stop letting in that early try. But I think full credit to the team. It was probably a reflection of what we demonstrated the entire game, which is our ability to stay in the fight, stay in the arm wrestle, and know that it was going to be an 80-minute contest.
Hey, Gary, you talked about this game being a make mistake for your team. What does the win say about the team? What does the performance say about this team moving forward?
I think it says what I mentioned earlier is that we have a plan, and when we stick to the plan, and there's clarity in the players' minds in terms of what we need to do, then you take the pressure off their shoulders. They can go out and do what they need to do. And the very pleasing thing to feel is that I do think this is a very, very good Scotland team. I know there are 1 or 2 guys that are still staying at home, but I mean, Lee Jones is talking about leaving. There's 15 players injured. Every team has that in the game of rugby. And I'm just really, really happy and satisfied that you can see that on your day that we can go toe to toe with world-class teams. The issue is now obviously that we need to do it consistently. And I feel really strongly about this is that we can't have tonight as being a flash in the pan. We have to continue to get better and better. And the carrot at the end of the stick is the fact that we've got 3 teams like this in the World Cup pool next year. So we're going to have to learn somehow that we've got to repeat these kind of performances, and that's the next challenge. That is the next challenge.
Blaine, did you talk about the defensive effort, especially in the first half? You were on defense. Great deal.
Yeah, well, that's their game. We knew that we were going to face a team that likes to attack. And once we were able to settle into our defensive systems, we showed the type of physicality we can bring to double tackles. And that's really where we want to be able to build our game from, is how well we defend, how well we get out of the wrong half, how well we defend, and how do we get the ball back, which will then place in the right areas of the field. And we have, conversely, on the other side, we talked about our ball carriers. We have people who can make hits. And we were able to do that and get on some really positive defensive sets and get the ball back, which then in turn let us have AJ McGinty and Will Hooley kicking the ball in behind, and then all of a sudden we're in the place we want to be, which is their half playing with the ball.
Gary, we look at the kicking game, and with two fly halves on the field, and I've spoken with Greg McWilliams, and it looks like found an Eagle fullback for a long time. What did you look at going into this match to win that kicking game? Because we just won a kicking game against a top shelf opponent, and also AJ McGinty, high ball, recovers that fumble and passes it off to Hanko. Like that's great rugby.
It was, and I think the guys were really smart tonight in the way they played the game. I think it was, again, to repeat Blaine's point, but I think it was about us being smart. I think if we had tried to play the wrong game plan, I think we would have played into Scotland's hands. We also knew that the conditions were going to be tough to hold on to the ball for periods of the game, and I think both teams actually did really, really well under those circumstances. But you take an example like early in the first half, AJ sees a hole in his own 22, absolutely right decision for him to go for it. Ball spills out because of the humidity. So it's that balance, because we definitely want to play attacking rugby. We definitely want to put ourselves in the area of the field where we can score tries, as we were able to do last week. And I still think that's a big work on for us at the moment now. We understand what the foundation looks like, and we see that there can be results from the foundation. But now we need to be kicking on and saying, right, when we are in those areas, we now really want to also launch our attack.
Blaine, what was going through your head in those final minutes of the game?
But I stay in the moment, really. I think credit to our pack with an unbelievable performance, because the reality is it's the boys up front who determine who win test matches. How deep can they go? Someone like Joe tonight was unbelievable. He took himself to a place he's never been before. Samuel Manoa, Nick Savetta, Cam Dolan. I mean, the list just goes. Eric Fry. I mean, you can name every single person that played a part in that game. And who helped us prepare during the week, because it wasn't just the 23 on the field, it was really the entire program who contributed to this effort, coaching staff, administration, everybody. And so for us, that's where we wanted to be. We wanted to be in a position to win the game. And, Nick Savetta goes up in the air and makes it a tough contest at the lineout, and then all of a sudden we're into what we trained during the week, because it's not an accident we defended that well. We trained that. We trained being under that much pressure on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that was a reflection of that. We've been there before, and I think the confidence that we were able to gain from the work we put in during the week, and then to have that demonstrated on the field, that's what you want to be about.
Gary, there was that debate at the end of the game with the injury to John Quill and then bringing the players on. You have to get the on there in order to be able to reuse Landry. Is that the way that works?
Yes. So, the scenarios are particularly complicated, but for us to get Landry back on, we had to bring him back on for the person who replaced him, which was Hanko. So we couldn't, and it just so happened that unfortunately Quilly got injured, so we weren't allowed to make that substitution. So we had to bring Hanko off again and put Ben back on for Hanko to take off, and then we moved Bryce to back row, and we just put Will at 12.
Were you a little bit nervous about that?
It wasn't ideal, and I would like to go and re-look at that. I'm 99% sure that Barnsley was right with that, but I still have a feeling that you are allowed to replace, bring a guy back on, but I'm certainly not in the question. He sort of doesn't know what he's doing. So, but it's good to know for preparation going forward, because we try and establish every possible scenario we can. They start getting pretty complicated with HIS.
Coach, what's so hard about this game? You come over here and your record is stellar, and that's one question. Question number two is, what did you say to the team at the halftime? Because we got to put that in a bottle.
No, it wasn't about me, Matt. Not at all. I mean, it's just about we just sat down as a group and made a decision that this leadership group over here want to go places and they want to keep improving. And I don't think I had to say anything at halftime. I mean, the group, as Blaine said, got a lot of confidence from scoring that try just before halftime and felt, hey, we can go toe to toe here. And there were a couple of things we rectified, but there was certainly no screaming and shouting at halftime, not from the performance that the guys put in. But we thought technically and tactically there were one or two things we could have done differently, like picking them a little bit back. And, we felt that obviously the penalty try was a penalty try, but the other two tries that they had at that stage were from our area. It was a penalty that we conceded, and then it was we didn't manage our exit strategy. And, when you play against a team of this quality, then you pay. So, look, I've been outspoken in the past. I don't think teams win because of the coaches, and I don't think they necessarily always lose because of the coaches. I mean, at the end of the day, no coach was out there today. The 23 men are on the field today. All the credit must go to them, in my opinion.
Well, two of you made a lot of people very happy in this country. We're very proud of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.